Want to know everything that's changed at Universal Studios Orlando this week? Well, fellow coaster enthusiasts, I am your guy. I go over everything that has changed in Universal Studios weekly, and if you like that, then you're in the right channel. Who am I? Well, I am Wunu, your weekly Universal news and updates. And let's not stall on this and start with my first topic. General news! The topic where there's news and all that news is general, as the name might or might not imply. So this week, we can start off looking at some changes to the park maps. This week, a reminder that the Hogwarts Express would be closed on January 21st was added to these maps. It's good that they add the reminders, however, I don't know if Universal forgot this or intentionally did not do this, but they did not do something like this on the park maps when Revenge of the Mummy closed this week. Yes, this ride closed for its scheduled refurbishments that we were able to see a couple of weeks ago, and it has been closed through all of this week. Looking over at where the Forbidden Journey locker expansion used to be, we can see that a new picture kiosk with a paper sign saying "Picture Here" was added at the end of Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. I'm not exactly sure why these were added, however, they're quite a nice pair to the lockers that were added recently, as I just said. Also for photos, we can see now that picture stands in the parks have gone fully automated, making it easier than ever to buy your photos. This also makes it a lot less touch-based, so that you don't have to worry as much about COVID while trying to buy your family photos. I'm pretty sure that they're going to keep this in the future as it's more efficient and probably cheaper for Universal, and it's quite interesting to see the change that they have made. So also this week, Ollivanders has changed its capacity amount. It will now allow up to 10 people in the wand room at once. This is quite a few people compared to what they used to allow, and I'm excited to see how this is really going to affect things. It's not as good in the health standpoint, but it'll definitely move the lines a lot faster. So it's going to be quite interesting to see if this has a negative or positive impact on the park. Guess who's back? Back again. Osprey's back. He's our friend. Yes, the Osprey's back. He has made his nest this week to show his dominance on the Velocicoaster. However, it hasn't been removed, which is quite interesting. But we're going to probably see it being removed soon. But what's important is this is a win in the book for the Osprey. So this week, the queue for the horror makeup show reopened. I honestly didn't even know that this queue was closed until I found this update, but I guess if you want to queue up for the horror makeup show, you're more than welcome to at this point. However, I think with limited capacity and the all-over unpopularness of this attraction, though I'm not saying it's a bad attraction, I'm just saying it's not the most popular one, I'm not sure if this queue is going to be needed. So this week, some of the lagoon was actually drained. It was shown this happened because the crew had to go onto the platform. And this gives us just this really odd look of the lagoon, where you can see where Cinematic Celebrations is actually coming from. It's cool to see this behind the scene thing, but I can tell you I definitely prefer the lake when it's actually filled in. Also this week, for employee safety measures, it is now required that all guests must wear a face mask while talking with employees at the parking booths. It's about time that they actually add this, as it's not really fair that guests can talk without masks to those employees, but while in the parks, they have to wear a mask. So it's about time that they added this, in my opinion. Finally, for this topic, we have a closure. Hollywood Red Rocket on Saturday would close due to the cold. It's kind of funny with Universal and just Florida parks in general, how though winter seems very mild to everybody, because our theme parks stay open, stuff closes really easily. That's why parks close during the winter in other areas. Anyways, let's talk about the progress of what it will not be cold when it opens in my next topic. Construction, a topic that is always interesting because of a wee little thing called the Velocicoaster. So this week, let's go ahead and start off with some testing. Now this has been happening a lot recently, but the different part of the testing this week is that they're actually testing with the cart ride lights on. This just looks really cool, and honestly I thought the lights would just be on 24/7, but as you can see here they actually flash and other things to synchronize with the ride. At least that's what I believe it is. This could just be them doing some crazy stuff with the lights that isn't going to be officially in the ride, but I'm just going to hope that it's actually going to be in the ride because this looks pretty cool to me in my opinion. So next off, the fence that was wrapped in blue is not unwrapped anymore, showing an arched fence. As I said last week, I didn't think that blue wrap was permanent, and I was correct. It is now just a arched fence in between two pillars, and adding to the fences just everywhere behind the Velocicoaster. It's going to be really cool to get to see this when it's actually open, because you're just going to stand in with a track weaving around you everywhere you look and seeing the ride going. I am so excited. So next, some scaffolding went up around the wall that separates the Lost Continent and the Jurassic Coaster on Monday. I have no clue what they were doing, and I don't think that anything really happened to the wall that's notable, but it is quite interesting to see something like this. More trees were added to the sites in front of the staircase by Burger Digs. Just more vegetation. I have no clue how they can even fit this much on. Like, when it started, it was like, oh, cool, it's here. Now it's just everywhere. I mean, I'm not complaining. It makes everything look a lot more jungly and themed better, I'm sure. But it's just quite interesting to see how much they can actually fit on this site. So finally, at the patio that's by the back of the Velocicoaster, some construction walls went up. These were more than likely added so that workers could stand there while the ride was testing, and it really blocks the back view that everybody seems to love. However, whatever is needed to open this ride, I am happy to let it happen, because I'd rather have this ride open than be able to see it before it is. Speaking of something not being there, we can see just that in my next topic. Holidays, the topic that despite the happy music is not that happy of a topic itself. As I explained last week, decor removal started, and it started on Monday, as you can see here. Though I don't really want this to happen, it's really about time as we're already a week into the new year. Continuing the decor removal, the front of the Tribute store was taken off. It's really weird to see it without this front now, as I'm so used to seeing it here. But goodbye, Tribute store. I hope we'll have another Christmas one. Probably the most significant and massive removal that happened this week was that of the Christmas tree that they put in the Studios Park. It has now been removed, as you can see by this giant empty space, and I'm not really sure how I feel about it. It definitely makes things feel a lot more open, but I'm also very disappointed that the squirrel was taken down. I mean, who doesn't want the squirrel to go? But you'll be in our hearts forever, and you'll come back next year. So something that'll have you coming back every year if you're not a Florida resident can be found in my next topic. Food and restaurants, and disappointingly I only have one update in this topic, and I'm sure I'm not the only one disappointed. So this week at Great Eggs and Ham, the chicken funnel cake was removed from the menu, and it would later be replaced by brisket Philly tots. Both of these I have never had before, and I'm kind of disappointed that the opportunity for the funnel cake passed, but I don't know. The Philly tots sound interesting and actually quite good, so I guess I'll try them out if I get the chance. So there's my one update for this topic, which must mean that we're going to move on to my next and final topic. Merchandise! And oddly enough, I actually don't have an online store list in this topic. Wow, that is a relief to be honest. So, this week in the parks, new reusable Harry Potter bags are now available. It's nice to see that Universal is now offering reusable bags in order to try and help the environment. I'm also sure that it's a lot more touch-friendly as you get to put your own stuff in your own bags instead of people touching it to put it in bags for you. Also for Harry Potter, new keeper magnets are now available in the U-Design kiosks. Looking at masks, a new mask has actually been added to the merchandise line. A new tie-dye universal mask is now available. This isn't tied into any theme or anything, it's really just a universal brand mask, but it's quite nice to look at, I will not lie. So next we have a couple of ticket deals. Some New Year's ticket deals and annual pass deals are available. If you buy a 2-park annual pass, you get a free 3 extra months, which is honestly a pretty good deal. However, it is held through most of the year, so don't rush on this. This could have been a 2020 thing, but almost all of last year it was the same deal. If you buy a 3 or 2-day park ticket, you can save $50. So if you don't want to buy the passes and just want to get the tickets, you can now save some money while doing so. A new vacation package that can save up to $800 that includes 5-night accommodations at a Universal Studios hotel and 4 4-day theme park tickets is now available. This is kind of the ultimate plan if you don't want to buy a season pass but want to have a really good vacation. I can also say, if you're not terribly concerned about coronavirus like I am, this is actually an amazing time to go into the parks, as even at maximum capacity, the lines aren't that bad as they normally are. Finally, Florida residents received a ticket deal of if you buy a 1-day 2-park ticket, you can get 3 extra free days in the parks. These are the deals you are only going to get during COVID, so I am just telling you, if you are a Florida resident, buy this now. It's going to be the best deal that you are going to get in a while. So that's everything that I could find in Universal Studios Orlando this week. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that I may even be able to spice up your plans for 2021. If you like my content, please make sure to leave a like and or subscribe. It helps push me through the YouTube algorithm. And now that all of that is said and done, this is Winner, signing off.